Hello everybody, welcome to another BBD versus CVM versus video, standard battling, whatever you want to call it. It's about to take place. So we have two decks here. We're each going to draw our opening hands, but we do need to determine who gets to go first.
Correct.
So we're going to go with the old truth game.
That I lost last time.
That he did lose last time, because I knew CVM would never tell the truth. But now CVM has to decide, am I going to tell the truth?
Right.
So he's going to close his eyes. I'm going to roll this dice, and I'm going to tell CVM a fact about the dice, and then he has to guess whether it's true or not.
Technically, it's not a fact if it could be false, I guess.
Okay, I have to make a statement about the dice. All right, so here's my statement. I have rolled a number that is greater than 3.
Okay, so I have to decide if it's greater than 3 or less than 3. And I believe that you are telling the truth.
You're right.
Yeah. See, BBD can't lie.
You're right. Can't lie.
I'll go first. All right, well, this is a very, very good hand, so I'll keep. Which, by the way, I'm playing Michael Braverman's Jund Monsters list from the Pro Tour. I believe he went either X-2 or X1-1 with the list. We didn't do a deck tech because, face it, everybody has watched me talk about Jund Monsters enough already.
My hand is also pretty good, so I guess we'll have to see who can rise victorious here.
18.
All right, I guess my hand's going to be a lot worse when he plays a Domrion too. But, all right, I'm also at 18. Go.
Let's see here. So I have to decide which one of these two lands I want to play. And I think that I want to get this one in play so that I can play both of those spells next turn. All right, so we're going to go to 16, and I'll play Domri. And here I have to decide if I want to fight his Mystic or not, and I don't think that I do. So I will just plus the Domri.
Okay.
And we'll look at the top card, and we drew a card. Go ahead.
All right, well, things are starting very well for the CVM side of the table, so hopefully we will have a chance to actually play some Magic here. So I'm going to play a Caryatid, and I'm going to scry. And I don't know if I want this, because I do have these two. So I only want this. Whoa. I only want this if I expect that the first one of these is going to brick. Which I think it's unlikely that that happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and bottom it and hope to draw a real. Actually, no. I think I am gonna keep it on top because we can do this potentially. So I'll keep it on top. We'll see how that works. Go.
All right. So we draw. So here I have to decide if I want to fight with my Domri or not. So I don't really think that he has many ways to interact with my Domri once I can actually get it to ultimate. So I think that I just want to use both of these to stunt his development as much as possible. So we're going to start with a Domri Plus.
Okay.
And it is not a creature, so we'll put it back on top. And I'm actually going to shock myself here because I want the green sources in play. So I'll go to 14.
All right, he's as good as dead. He's at 14. We just need to hit him for 4 and then second right him.
And I will Dreadbore the Mystic and cast a Scavenging Ooze. And then I'll pass.
All right. Well, that's not great for us. I'm going to start by casting a Satyr Wayfinder. And we'll get a Swamp out of the mix. And I will cast another Satyr Wayfinder. And here, I think I just want a land that comes into play untapped. So I'm just going to take... I guess I could take Temple Garden in case I draw Obsidian. It's probably the best one. So we'll take that. And then I'll pass the turn.
Okay. So we know what we're drawing here. I don't think that I want to use it. So we have 2 queens and 2 mystics over there. So I think that my plan here is just to scry with this, use the Domri, cast this, and start eating some stuff.
It's not very nice.
Oh, sorry. Alright, well, we're going to scry.
Sure.
And this is a good card. So we'll keep it there. We'll plus get a Pelucranos. Don't really want to do that yet. We will just attack with a Scavenging Ooze.
Alright, I will not block.
Okay, I will eat... I'll eat a Hornet Queen.
Sure.
Puts me at 15. So I have to respect a Shadowborn Demon here. And so the question is, do I want to just eat the other Hornet Queen now and get an extra point of damage and make my Domri vulnerable to losing a point of loyalty? Which I think I'm actually fine with. Yeah, so I'll use the other Hornet Queen.
Alright. Well, we're down 2 Hornet Queens, which is unfortunate, but...
Alright, so I'll just take 4.
Yep, I'm at 14.
I'll play the Caryatid.
Sure.
And then pass.
Alright, here... we are going to attack Domri with both of these.
I'll block 1.
Just try to keep Domri from ultimating. I'll go to 12 and cast a Shadowborn Demon. Destroy Scavenging Ooze. And I'll pass the turn.
Alright.
So the plan here is to kill Domri. You know he has a Pelucranos in his hand, though.
You have 3 cards?
4 cards.
Okay. So I can use this. I can play it, use it, and then fight with my Domri. And you have 2 creatures in your graveyard. And this is, you have to have 5. No, 6.
6.
Okay. So I don't think we can stop our Domri from dying just yet. Well, I can plus him, which will stop him from dying for now. To be aware of another demon, or just like him sacrificing his demon and using obedience. Don't think I want to kill off the other Wayfinder just yet. I'm sorry, but you have 4 cards in hand?
Yeah, 4.
Alright, so I can use this to... I can use this in Domri to kill off both of his Wayfinders, which will make him have to sacrifice his Caryatid or get rid of his demon. And then you can just kill my demon or kill my Domri. Not sure if that's the right play or not. 2, 3, 4, 5.
I would probably just concede. I think it's over.
Well, I'm definitely going to play this Muni Vault.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if he has just like land demon in hand, this is just like really bad for me. But I think this is going to be right. I'll play Polychronos, Monstrous for 1 on a Wayfinder, and then I'll fight the other one with my Polychronos.
Okay.
But you have 4 creatures in the graveyard?
Yep.
And then I'll pass.
Alright, so I'm going to Grizzly Salvage in my upkeep with Shadowborn's thing on the stack.
Didn't even think about that.
Alright, so here I'm going to take the land. I want to take one of these creatures, but I'm going to take the land so that my demon doesn't die. Or so that I don't have to sacrifice for my demon. So we'll take Temple of Plenty. Now I have 6 creatures in my yard. So Shadowborn doesn't have to sacrifice anything. And I'll draw for turn.
I did not know he could turn it off like that.
Alright, well, let's see. I'm at 12 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, well, I have to shock myself down to 10. And then just hope I don't think I can die next turn, but I can certainly take a lot of damage. I'm going to cast a whip and then kill Domri and gain 5. So I'm at 15. You're up. So next turn I can whip back Hornet Queen if he doesn't draw like an ooze.
Yeah, I did. I think I would have played that turn a bit differently if I would have thought that you could actually turn off the demon with the Grizzly Salvage.
It's a pretty nifty combo.
Yeah, it is. Alright, so basically at this point we need to draw a Mizzium Orders or we are just boned. Yeah. So I will just play a Xenagos, we'll make a Satyr, wake up the Muni Vault, and attack with everything.
Alright, well I'm taking a lot here, so 4, 11, right?
6, oh yeah, it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Alright, I go to 4.
I'll pass.
Alright, let's see what we draw. That's just a brick. Alright, so let's see. If he draws a Mortars next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He could only attack me for 8. So I don't think I would die if he draws Mortars. So I could cast this, but if he draws like a Dreadbore, I think I'm just dead. Unless I shock myself to do it, which I don't really want to do. So I think I'm better off just whipping back Hornet Queen. Although whipping back Hornet Queen does make our demon vulnerable, but then we can actually just sack our demon and whip it back next turn as well. Or sack one of the insects to the demon if we want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and whip back Hornet Queen.
Yep.
Generate 4 insects with Death Touch. And I will attack you with the Queen, Xenagos with the demon.
Alright, so I go to 14 and you gain 7 to 11.
I go to 11. Xenagos dies.
Yeah.
And I will play Temple and Scry. And I do not want an Elvish Mystic, so that will quickly go to the bottom of my deck. And I will pass the turn. This gets exiled. So all my queens are down, but we still have a good board presence here, so.
Alright, so Mizzium Mortars or bust?
Alright, no Mortars. I think even if he draws Mortars, we're not dead.
I mean, I have a land, so you are dead.
Oh, okay. That's still not quite lethal.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Well,
exactly.
you'd have to use this to activate Mutavault.
No, I can play the land to activate Mutavault, and then I have 6
Oh,
from
yeah,
the
yeah,
mortars.
yeah.
You were dead to a mortars.
All right. All right, so we did not get 2 outered, so.
I did get 2 outered, though.
Did you?
Yeah, you only have 2 lives.
Sure.
All right, so.
I don't know if that logic lines up, but I'll go with it.
I mean, it's the same thing, right? You have 2. So I don't think that we can actually win from this position. Once he gets in another hit with that demon, we're in bad shape.
There's a lot of buzzing going on.
So you have
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so next turn, if you wanted to, you could whip back. I guess you need to sack the demon and kill my Polychronos.
Could also whip back a Satyr Wayfinder.
Yeah, which isn't that bad.
Which is a lot of value.
Alright, well, we'll play this Mutavault. And I don't think I can attack, so I'll just pass.
Alright, so I'm going to sacrifice my Caryatid here. Keep the demon because I just want to try to kill him. Play a Temple and Scry. I do not need that. We already have a whip in play. So.
Lucky.
And I will attack with... let's see. So I'm at 11. Yeah, I can afford to attack with these. So you go to 6, and I go to 19.
Yep.
And then I will play Soul of Zendikar. And pass the turn.
Alright, and I draw. Really?
Is it Mizzy Morris?
Yes. 1 turn too late.
Well, if you overload it, you're not dead. So.
Wow. That is so gross. That is just real gross. All right. 3, 6. So I can overload the mortars, then attack with a Mutavault and a Satyr. Which doesn't do much at all.
It keeps you alive.
Yeah.
You're not dead.
Overload Mizzy Mortars. Activate the Mutavault.
Sure.
I should probably just attack with this Polychronos as well. It's just doing nothing sitting in play. Yeah, I'll attack.
Okay, so I could trade with Polychronos or just take it. And I think since my soul is going to gain me a lot of life and value, I'm just going to take 10. So I go to 9.
Go ahead.
That might be a little greedy, but I think it's fine. We're going to gain a minimum of 11 life this turn. So let's see. I don't have enough mana to make a beast and also use whip. So I think I'm just going to use whip. And I'm going to whip back Satyr Wayfinder. Just to try to keep, try to hit stuff like this other Shadowborn Demon. So I will take the Llanowar Wastes. So next turn I can whip back the other demon, which is pretty sweet. Oh no, that goes in my hand. And I guess I will play it in case I need to double regenerate this Lotleth Troll. And I'll attack with these 3. So.
Alright, well, we need to block both of these ground creatures so I don't die. So I'll block like this.
Okay, so I gain 12 life,
Yep.
I go to 21, and you go to 1.
Yep.
And Satyr Wayfinder is gone. You're up.
Alright, so in order for us to actually have a shot in this game, I need to draw a Scavenging Ooze right here. And that's not Scavenging Ooze.
Alright.
Alright, we are back for game 2. I will be on the play again. This hand is not looking nearly as good as my last hand.
That's good news for me because this hand's much worse as well.
Oh man, this hand is just actually really bad. Although it's one of those hands where I would probably just keep this on the draw. But I don't know if I can keep this on the play. I mean, I have 2 looks at a land. No, I needs 1. Man, if this Stormbreath Dragon were a land, I would keep it.
That's what they always say. That's why I don't play
But
Stormbreath.
I'm going to mulligan this hand. I actually like this hand on the draw, but I don't think I can keep it on the play.
Yeah. You know, you just would have gotten there. My hand is fine. It's not as... Our last hand was better, but this hand is definitely playable, so... we do have this sweet interaction right here. Hopefully we get to utilize that to its full potential.
Let's get a good 6. This is the opposite of a good 6. Man. Yeah, I have to be able to get a better 5 than this. Alright, see if we can get a good 5. Alright, snap.
Old Forest, go. Alright, I will scry. This card's actually, like, potentially good in this hand, because we could accelerate into this faster, but I still think I'm just going to ship it to try to find, like, some more gas. So, go ahead.
Yep.
Alright. I will go to 18 and cast Sylvan Caryatid. You're up. Pretty much always cast Caryatid on 2 over any other option, so sure.
Sir, come on. Damn it, go.
Alright, well he's probably gonna... If he has a land underneath that Xenaghost, it's probably happening next turn. Alright, what do I want to do here? I think that I also just want to cast a Courser. I could play these 2 cards, but since I don't have any way to get this back, I don't think doing this... I don't think these 2 does a whole lot, so I'm also just going to cast Courser. And wish I had a Scry land, but I do not, because I do not want to draw that. But I'll just gain a life. So 19, and I'll pass the turn.
Go.
Alright. Well, that Xenaghost is definitely happening next turn. Alright, so we'll draw this, flip a swamp. Here I'm going to be casting this card. So I'm actually going to not play that swamp. I'm going to leave it on top in case we have a land on top of our deck after the Satyr Wayfinder. So I'd rather just do that. Alright. Well, I guess I don't see that yet, but it doesn't really affect my decision.
Yeah, the 4th card is still technically on top of your deck.
Yeah, it doesn't affect my decision. I'm just going to take the Temple of Plenty here, so we can scry. Alright, and then Endless Obedience. So here I want to keep that on top, so I'm not going to play the Scry lands. I will play that swamp, though. Go to 20. And I will play a Lotleth Troll. And pass the turn.
All right. Well, imagine he's going to discard something to his troll and rebuy it with Endless Obedience next turn. And I can't really stop that. But I can try to build my board somewhat. Xenagos
Sure.
will plus for 3 mana. I'll play a Domri.
Sure.
I'll plus and get this.
Yep.
Land? Alright. I'll gain a life.
21. Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's a good card. I'll pass.
Alright, well... Let's see. Definitely changes our line of play, since we are going to get our board blown up. Maybe, actually. So, there's no reason playing any creatures if he can overload mortars on us. We're better to just wait. I think our line here is to just attack Xenagos with everything to try to take Xenagos off of being able to mortars. He can use Xenagos to +1 to mortars us. So I want to be able to take him off that ability.
Okay.
So he could block the troll. Well.
Yeah, so I can block the troll, and then he can +2. He can discard 2 creatures to kill my Courser. But then I get to keep my Xenagos around. I could block the Courser, and then he still has to discard 1. I don't really want my Courser to go away, is the problem here. So I can block his Courser, which makes it so he still has to discard a creature to kill my Xenagos. I think I'm actually fine with that. Yeah, 4 cards.
I have 5.
5 cards.
Yep.
So we know he has a Temple of Plenty.
Yep.
And an Endless Obedience.
Yeah, you know these 2 cards.
So I think I'm actually fine just blocking the Courser with my Courser.
Alright, I'll discard Sylvan Caryatid. Kill Xenagos.
This interaction is just too powerful to find land, so I just don't want to get rid of my Courser.
Alright, so here I think like he's probably just gonna play Flukernos and fight my Courser next turn. Like he only has 2 red sources, so unless the card below Mizium Mortars is a red land, we're not getting mortars. I'm just going to play another card into mortars, which I know is probably bad, but I think it's unlikely that we get mortars next turn, and we have a lot less troll that survives it anyway, so I'm just going to cast another Courser, and I'm going to play Temple, gain 2 life, and I'm going to leave Grizzly Salvage on top, and pass the turn. I want to be able to threaten his Domri next turn, so...
Okay.
And I want to still have a Courser in play, even if he plays Flukernos and fights 1.
Okay, so I can still play both of these and fight off one of his coursers, which I think still puts me in a pretty good spot.
Elvish Mystic? Oh, Xenagos. That's pretty good.
I'll plus. And then fight off a courser.
Sure.
And then it's your turn.
Alright. Untap. Draw. Alright, well I'm going to start by casting Grizzly Salvage. And see what that gives us. Alright, a lot of options here. Unfortunately not a land, but I guess we could take Satyr Wayfinder if we want to land. Yeah. So if we want to land, Satyr Wayfinder is the pick. Which I think that's what we're going to take. Could also take Soul of Zendikar. But I think, yeah, I'm just going to take Satyr Wayfinder and see what results from that. Another Endless Obedience. Well, we don't actually need that, so I will cast the Satyr Wayfinder.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take Temple Garden. Actually, do I want to take Temple Garden? Maybe I want to take Temple of Malady. Like, he gets to overload mortars next turn. And there's not a whole lot we can do to stop that. So I have to decide how I want to play around that. I guess I'll take the Temple Garden. We'll play around it like that. Alright. And I will play Llanowar Wastes and gain a life. Alright, top part of our deck's is another land, which is kind of bad, since we will have to draw that next turn. We are down to Endless Obediences. Alright, so here I cannot really attack, since he has Plukranos. Although I guess I'm going to lose my board anyway, so maybe I should attack. No, it's better to force him to have to cast mortars. So I'm just going to pass the turn.
Alright, so we'll draw. It's just like the worst card that could be on top of our deck right now. Alright, well I can... The land would have been really good here. So I can... So I could potentially just play these two cards. Use this to get rid of his courser so he doesn't have that advantage any longer. And then just sit on this while I chip away with this. Because the last thing we want after I mortars is for him to play a Hornet Queen. And I'm fine with getting rid of this Domri here because I have another one on top. So I can actually just play this courser.
Sure.
I can plus for 5 red. Play a dragon.
It's pretty good.
I'm going to fight my Plukranos on your courser. And then I will attack you with the dragon.
Okay, I got 18.
And you should be at 19. I think you missed a life gain.
I don't think so.
No, you're at 23. You only take 4, not 5.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I'll pass the turn.
Alright, well that was pretty gross. There's another Domri. Like, we have to just force him to use the mortars, which is...
Getting to double spell like multiple turns in a row with Xenagos is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, like, having the second Xenagos was really backbreaking. Alright, well, I'll scry. It doesn't do much for us, so bottom that. We really need... I needed to hit a Shadowborn Demon pretty bad. But
oh, you don't have one. Oh, you had one.
I mean, I would have cast it a long time ago if I did.
That's true, it doesn't die to mortars.
I think I just go ahead and cast Endless Obedience on Soul of Zendikar.
Okay.
And then pass the turn.
You have 2 cards?
Yep.
Oh. One of which is still a Temple Garden. I'll draw a card. All right. So this gives me 6 mana. So I think my best bet here is just to sit on this mortars for 1 more turn. So I think that I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. So I need 7, 10, 11. I need 11. I'm going to have to tap one of the carry tits anyways. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the best route. So we'll play the Domri.
Sure.
I will plus to get an Elvish Mystic.
Okay.
I'll play the Mystic. We'll plus in Monstrous Stormwrath Dragon.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sure. I go to 17.
And I'll attack you with a 7/7.
Alright, I take 7. Go to 10.
And then I'll pass the turn.
Alright, I really need to draw a Shadowborn Demon. Very badly. Or a way to get Shadowborn Demon. Yeah, that's game. Alright, we are back for sideboarding. I'm cutting the Trolls, the Courser, and the Obsidat. Troll is good, but he has so many creatures that make it unable to attack. And just as a discard outlet alone, it's not worth it. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to cut 1 Courser because, again, just random ground creatures are not particularly good against him. Cutting an Obsidat for the same reason. It just isn't really that good against him. And then I'm cutting 1 Obedience because he has Oozes. And I'm bringing in 2 Needles, 2 Downfalls, and a Demon. More ways to deal with Ooze. I can name Ooze with Pithing Needle. I can also hit his Planeswalkers. Like, if I had a Needle last game for Xenagos, I'm pretty sure I would have won.
Yeah, Xenagos is the only reason I won that game.
Yeah.
Being able to double spell like 5 turns in a row is pretty sick.
Yeah, like, I had to go out of my way to kill your Xenagos, and then you had another one, and I just was so far behind. And then another Demon. As we saw in the first game, Demon was just extremely good. And it would have been extremely good in the second game, too. It's just very good against this deck. So
as for myself, I'm bringing in Mortars and 2 Golgari Charms. Mortars obviously is good against this deck, but Charm does quite a few things. They can kill all of the tokens from Hornet Queen to allow me to keep attacking. If he just has like a bunch of Elvish Mystics, I can always kill his Mystics. It kills Whip because Whip is an enchantment. And it can also regenerate my creatures against things like Shadowborn Demons. So Scavenging Ooze is very good against his deck, and if I'm able to untap with an Ooze and just keep up a Golgari Charm with my Ooze controlling his graveyard, then I can let the rest of my cards do their thing. And then I have a Putrefy just as another way to kill troublesome creatures like Shadowborn Demon and Hornet Queen. But it also kills Whip, because Whip is an enchantment and an artifact. And I see that he is bringing in Pithy Needle, so it can actually hit a Pithy Needle, but I was bringing it in regardless. I'm cutting 2 Rampagers just because, I'm not going to be pushing through a lot of ground damage. And against these type of decks, I also have to expect that he might have Lifebane Zombie out of the sideboard anyways. So I would cut Rampager against Lifebane decks. And then I'm cutting 2 Coursers, because Courser is just not very good in the green mid-range mirrors. It just sits there and gives your opponent information, and that's really about it.
Yeah, and I'm keeping in 3 of mine because my deck is based around utilizing Courser a lot more.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether or not it's good in the matchup, it's almost always useful. So I almost never side it up.
So let's battle and see what happens.
All right. Game number 3. I am on the play this game. Oh god. Well, this hand has 4 cards that cost 6 or more. So and only 1 land. We'll go ahead and mulligan. Alright, we are both back on 6. And this is a keepable 6.
Oh man, why are you doing this to me? If any of these were temples, then I would think about keeping it.
Oh, jeez.
But none of them are temples. Alright, we're back for another 5-card hand. Let's see if it works out as well as the last one.
Yeah, the last one was kind of the nut 5, so...
Whatever. I'll keep it.
Alright. I will go to 18 and cast Elvish Mystic. Go.
Alright, come on, baby. Do it. That's a joke. Go ahead.
Alright, deck. Alright, that's not it. I will scry and bottom that and hit you for 1. Go. Might have been a little greedy, but we're looking for some of this. Alright. Elvish Mystic lived another day. I'll play Courser of Crufix. And say go.
Dreadboard your Courser.
Alright.
Go.
Attack you for 1. Go.
Come on. Go.
Come on, deck. Attack you for 1.
17.
And play a Sylvan Caryatid. Go.
Whatever.
No!
Go.
Alright, deck, cough up the goods. Courser or Crufix.
Wow. No.
Go!
Come on. Go.
Alright.
This is just absurd.
Alright, well, I will attack you for 2.
15.
And I don't think I want to just jam this needle yet, because I don't know what I want to name, so I'm just going to say go.
Alright, well, we will go to our discard.
Sure. Probably, I might still needle Xenaghost. Alright, I'm going to draw this and attack for 2.
13. My discard is not bad for you, though.
Go. It's not as bad for me, that's true.
Your turn.
Alright. Draw Commune with the Gods. Alright, well, we're going to cast Commune with the Gods.
That gets an enchantment or a creature, right?
Yeah, it does not get a land. But I'm going to hopefully...
God, I was hoping it was 3.
Oh, man.
I was hoping it was 3 lands. Or just like 5 lands.
I already have a whip, but he does have ways to destroy whip. So I'd probably just take another whip here, to be honest. Rather than one of these souls. I have infinite fat creatures in my hand.
This is just gross.
So, I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to take a soul here. I'll take a whip. And I would really wish I could take an Overgrown Tomb. Alright, come on. Gain a life. I'm at 19.
Oh, that's not fair.
do have 8 cards in my hand, so I probably just have to jam. Well, I could either discard or I could jam this needle. I'll start by attacking for 2, though. Shoot 11. And let's see, what could he play that would really mess me up? So I have a whip. So I feel like Scavenging Ooze is the big killer here. And I have so much ways to kill everything else, so I'm just going to play a Pithing Needle and name Scavenging Ooze.
Sure.
Go.
We'll go to discard.
Sure.
Got plenty of those.
Alright. Oh, wait. Sorry. The top card of my deck was Sylvan Caryatid.
Okay.
Followed by Hornet Queen. I will cast a whip.
Yeah.
And then attack for 2. 21 to 9.
Yep.
Go.
I will go to discard.
Sure. Alright, draw Hornet Queen. I will whip back Soul Zendikar and attack for 8. Sure. Sure. So you go to 7 and I go to 29. I will, in my end step, exile this and then discard a Hornet Queen. Yep.
I give. I'm tapping out. All right, game 4.
And hopefully both of us will have a little bit better performance this game.
I really hate this game, by the way.
Do you?
But I'm going to keep.
Alright, well, my hand is definitely able to cast spells. I won't say it's the nut high, but it's able to cast spells. I'll keep. Sure.
Go ahead.
I will scry with a temple and bottom that because we do not need more lands. Go.
I will scry.
Alright, it was not done
And
right.
we will bottom that. Attack.
19.
Go.
I'm going to probably cast the Sylvan Caryatid. And in fact, that is exactly what I'm going to do. You're up.
What did I do to deserve this?
Is CVM running bad with Junk Monsters in a versus video?
I'll scry.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
So once
it's
in a
just the exact
lifetime.
opposite of last game.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
Alright. I bet he has lots of land cards in his hand.
I put 2 on the bottom as well.
Alright, well, since there is nothing happening at all, I'm just going to cast a whip and say go.
Lucky.
Is that a... Am I at 15 life?
You're at 19 right now.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, no, I don't have a dragon.
Okay.
18.
He is going to deal some damage to himself, though.
So...
I feel like Golgari Charm and or Putrefies.
We're definitely going to kill this whip. To decide if I want to do anything else this turn.
It's pretty scummy. It's super scummy.
And I think that I just want to charm it and bash.
18 all.
Go ahead.
Alright, well... I think we just... Scry... Bottom that land that we do not need, and pass the turn.
We're playing some real Magic now.
Yep.
Well, that's a pretty good card. I don't think we need to do it just yet. So I think that we just want to cast this, or play this Mutavault, and then pass the turn.
Okay.
We got a lot going on over here.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me wish I had Rakdos Return.
Be pretty good. Go.
Alright, well that's kind of cute.
I feel like he probably has mortars in his hand. This is a Domri raid.
This is a Domri raid.
Sure.
Wheel plus. Come on,
Lucky.
baby. Nope.
Alright, unlucky.
Animate.
Sure.
I'll attack.
I'll block your Mutavault with my Sylvan Caryatid.
Alright, take your 1.
17.
I'll play a land and pass.
Alright. Draw. That was a delight. By that I mean it was another land. I'm going to cast Pithing Needle and name Domri.
Alright.
And I am going to play a land and say go. The card Hornet Queen would be an exceptional Magic card.
Wouldn't it?
It would be great. It would be a delight.
Alright, well...
Uh-oh.
We want to keep using this Domri, so I'm going to putrefy the Pithing Needle.
I'm going to respond by Hero's Downfalling Domri.
That's not very nice.
And then Putrefy resolves.
Animate and attack.
Yep, I take 1. 16.
Go.
Oh, gee. Alright, I need another needle. If I get another needle, I can just name Mutavault. Who needs another needle when you got another one of these? And go.
This is just so awesome.
I am on a 16-turn clock.
Alright, we'll just sped up.
No! Is that dragon?
Yeah.
Alright. I go to 12.
Go.
Alright.
Are we getting demoned?
Yeah, luckily I have this Shadowborn demon that I've been sitting on for quite some time that will destroy that dragon. I'll pass the turn back.
Well, that's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Scavenging is?
Maybe.
Probably is.
You have 1 card?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so to figure out how I want to go about this. I think I just cast it.
Sure.
And I'll pass the turn.
Alright, well that was the worst possible card he could have drawn for us. So, we just have to sack a Sylvan Caryatid since we have to keep our demon around. And that was the worst possible card we could have drawn. This is just...
Endless Obedience?
that was the worst series of events I could actually possibly imagine. Alright. Hopefully we can eventually draw some gas. I don't want to attack because then he can just attack us back, so I just have to pass.
We'll eat your Caryatid.
Yep. And I'm not racing his ooze anyway.
I'll also eat my dragon.
Sure. 20.
20. All right. You have 2 cards?
Yep.
I'll attack with my Elvish Mystic.
So here he is just representing growing his Scavenging Ooze to be bigger than my demon. And I think we cannot... I don't think that's acceptable, so I'll block with Sylvan Caryatid.
Rats. figure this out.
Unfortunately, I feel like he has a Mizium Mortars in his hand, so even if I draw Hornet Queen, I'm not out of the water. But maybe he has 2. Whoops.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I'll just pass the turn.
All right, I'll sacrifice Carry to my upkeep again. I'll play another land.
Bottom?
I mean, I think we have to bottom this. It doesn't do anything. We have to actually draw something reasonable, which hasn't happened. Go.
All right. Well, I'm just going to get rid of everything in your graveyard.
Okay.
Make it pretty. 21. All right. We'll draw. Oh, it's not quite what we're looking for just yet. So we'll play a Domri.
Okay.
Plus the Domri.
Sure.
I'll pass.
All right. I'll sacrifice Shadowborn Demon. And I'll say go.
I'll eat your demon.
Yep. Ugh.
I had that scavenging news for like 3 turns, so I was just sitting on it because you had nothing in your graveyard.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Plus.
Yep.
Xenagos. We'll make a man. I made both Mutavaults battle with everything.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. I'm dead.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think it killed you.
All right, we are back for game number 5. Hopefully this game will be a little bit more exciting. All right, I'll keep.
All right, best 6. Oh, come on.
I love when you look at the first 2 cards like Dragon.
All right,
like...
it got better.
All right, whoa, you won that game, buddy.
Oh, damn it. I really want to be able to play this game.
All right, I'm going to go to 18 and cast Elvish Mystic.
Oh, not even fair.
I do not have much of a follow-up, so...
I think we have to end up keeping this. As much as I don't want to.
All right, I will draw. And that was actually fairly solid. So I'll cast Courser. Go.
18, Dreadbore the Courser.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll draw this. So I'm going to cast Grizzly Salvage here before I play land. Oh, come on, deck.
Do you need the lands?
Nope. That was...
We got a shot, boys.
That was so bad.
We got a shot.
I'll take the Scryland, I guess. And then I will play a Scry. And bottom another land.
Double black. I guess that means you have whip.
Attack you for 1.
17.
Go.
Alright, well, I think we want to actually just cast this. Maybe. Guess maybe we could have Demon. Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
Alright. I've seen worse. So I am just going to cast Whip, though. So the next turn I can do this plus maybe this. Well, I'll start by playing a Scryland. And I'm going to bottom that because I do not want to draw that. And then I'll cast a Whip. And pass the turn.
Alright, an answer to Whip would be real nice here. So I can just play this, and I'm sure it's just going to die to a demon. But we don't really have any other choice. The other option would be to use this along with my Mutavault to kill his Elvish Mystic. Which isn't that bad, except I know that he has a Pithing Needle in his hand, so then he can just needle my Domri. Well, I doubt that we'll be able to choke him on mana, so I think that I'm just going to jam this dragon and attack.
It's pretty good. 14.
Go ahead.
Alright, come on, deck. Draw. That's not it. Alright, I will just go ahead and cast Satyr Wayfinder.
Yeah, not a good creature.
That's just miserable. Alright.
That was the Green-Black Temple?
Yeah. I will play it and scry. Alright, keep that.
No.
I'll play another Elvish Mystic and get in for 1 and gain 1.
16, 15.
And say go. I don't want to cast Needle yet because I still don't know what I want to Needle, so. Like, I can Needle Mutavault, but that doesn't do much. Until I see, like, an Ooze or a...
I'll scry.
Yep.
Be good. Is that good? I don't know if this is good.
It's probably bad.
I don't think this is good.
Alrighty. I go to 7.
Go ahead. I think we're just going to get Shadowborn Demon here.
Alright. Draw. So here I am going to play the Pithing Needle and name Scavenging Ooze. And I'm going to play Shadowborn Demon and destroy a Stormbreath Dragon. And attack for 2. So I go to 9, you go to 14. Go ahead. I named Ooze with Needle preemptively because if he just, like, kills my demon and then plays an Ooze and eats it or something, or I'm just in super bad shape, but here he has to, like, kill my Needle and kill my demon and some other stuff, so.
Okay, so yeah, like we've drawn like one non-land spell.
If he just plays a land and attacks, I'm 100% blocking and forcing him to Monstrous.
Yeah, I have to Monstrous, he gets to gain 5, and then he just gets to whip it back and kill my dragon. I don't think that can actually win. So
Domri? Sure.
all plus. That's not bad.
Is it a creature?
It is not a creature. I'll pass.
Alright, so I only have 2 creatures, so I have to sacrifice a creature. I could... I think I'm actually just going to sacrifice Satyr Wayfinder, so that I can whip it back to fill my graveyard. So
yeah.
We'll do that. And we drew a brick, so I'm actually going to do exactly that. I'm going to whip back Satyr Wayfinder. And it's a bunch of bricks. So I will take the temple. ahead and scry. That's a pretty good one, I think. I don't know if I actually want to keep that. So this I think will be good, like post whipping Shadowborn Demon. So assuming that we whip a Shadowborn Demon, I think that we want this card. So I will leave it on top, but that might be wrong. And I'm going to attack Dominator with Shadowborn Demon. So this leaves us a little vulnerable to Dragon, but I want to get the Dominator off the table. And I'm also going to attack you with the Satyr Wayfinder.
Yeah, you might as well attack.
Yeah.
So you have 2 creatures in your graveyard?
3.
Oh yeah, you hit 1 with the... Alright, well... So we know what's on top of our deck. And... I'll block and...
Dominator dies? Okay,
Yeah.
so I go...
You need 6 to go to 15.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's get exiled.
Yeah.
Alright. Now I'm afraid of what's on top of his deck.
So you have 3 creatures in your graveyard?
Yes.
Alright, well... I'm going to animate this.
Sure.
And I'll attack you.
Alright, well we cannot double block because then we'd have to sack our demon, but let's see, we might want to sack our demon anyway. Let's see. He can't both Putrefy or Pithy Needle. He could Golgari Charm or Whip though. That is a thing that could happen.
Putrefy hits Whip too.
Putrefy hits Whip too, yeah. I think I just have to take it. So I take 6 and go to 9.
I'm going to Charm the Whip.
Yep.
I'll play Land Pass.
Alright, bad news for you.
Do you have another Whip?
Yep.
Oh, come on!
Alright, so I'll sack the demon. I think here we're going to sack the demon because we know we're drawing this old fatty here.
Unbelievable.
Is it unbelievable?
It's very.
Alright. Let me tap correctly here. Play another whip. And that was another reason to not block. Whip back demon, kill that guy, hit you for 5. So you go to 9, I go to 14. I'll play a land, and he gets exiled. You're up.
Alright, so another answer for Whip would be nice here. My card's not bad. What all do you have in there?
I have a Wayfinder, a Courser, and a Courser, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I can't do anything for 2. So I'll just
put me to 12.
Bash for 2.
Done?
Yep.
Alright, let's see what our deck can cough up this turn. Draw. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. I would assume. I'm going to commune with the gods.
Break.
Alright, didn't break. And I'll take Hornet Queen. Alright, so if he draws Mortars, he can hit us for 7 next turn. But I think I still just play this Hornet Queen. I think that's better than casting the other card in our hand. Go. Sure. Get a 10.
Yeah. Go. I think we actually had a shot at this game had you not had the second web.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this card may have done some work, but...
The Soul Zendikar?
Yep. Alright, well I know that he is casting Xenaghost next turn. Kind of just want to, let's see, I want to whip back, I guess Satyr Wayfinder is probably the target. Yeah, so I will whip back a Satyr Wayfinder. 2, 3, 4, I'll take the land that doesn't deal damage to me. And we have a Soul and a Hornet Queen in our yard, which is pretty sweet. And I'll go to attacks. Guess I just attack. I know he's drawing this. I actually think I can attack with everything except one. Because if he fights any of them, like his Polukranos dies. So, but actually, before attacks, I'm actually just going to cast the Soul. That way, if he kills my Mystics in combat, I don't lose out the ability to cast it. And then I think I can attack with all these. So, I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll block the Wayfinder.
Okay, so you take 5. I gain
5.
6.
Yep.
18 to 5. And go. This is exiled.
I think I'll kill your 2 Mystics.
I gain 2.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but I want the Polukranos bigger than the Soul.
I mean, you're just dead next turn, right? I guess you could... Because I have another Hornet Queen in my yard, too.
Oh, yeah, the other Hornet Queen kills me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just dead.
Alright, we are back for the conclusion of our battling. Hornet Queen versus Domri event decks coming soon to you.
Okay, I hope not.
Hornet Queen versus Polukranos. I don't know. It was an interesting match. We both had a lot of really bad draws.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird.
There were a lot of awkward draws, a lot of mulligans. We definitely got to see just the raw power level of some of the cards, be it Xenaghost, Domri, Polukranos Dragon, or Whip of Erebos, Shadowborn Demon, Hornet Queen. Like, these cards are just all inherently extremely powerful, and they tend to draw you out of draws like that.
Yeah, so like the first game we both had very good draws, and then the rest of the games, like neither of us really had like fantastic draws, but we still were able to cobble together some sweet things. Definitely learned a lot about this deck.
It seems pretty sweet.
Yeah, I like the Needle a lot. Needle on Ooze is a pretty big game. So
yeah, especially if the monsters decks start going along the lines of Brave Rimmond's list with 4 Oozes in the main.
Yeah, 4 Ooze.
And then like Yuki Ichikawa had 2 Oozes in the board of his Jund Planeswalkers deck, which not a lot of decks have adopted yet, but I imagine they will moving forward.
Plus, Needle's just inherently good against those decks anyway.
Yep.
They have lots of Planeswalkers, Xenagoses, Faraskas, Chandras, so forth.
Vraska in particular seems very potent against your deck.
Does destroy Whip of Erebos.
Yes.
So, yeah, that is kind of an issue for the deck, is that Whip is very vulnerable and I only have 2. Maybe there should be a 3rd. Or maybe I should, sneak in some Obzet's aid to get them back or something.
I could see that. Like some number of aids in the board might be good.
Yeah. At any rate, the deck was pretty sweet. I might keep working on it some. I don't know. I mean, the standard format's kind of moving towards the tail end, so...
Yeah, we've got a little less than 3 months remaining. However, the Invitational in New Jersey at the end of the month is going to be using the standard format, so...
Very true.
We might need to break it open there.
Yeah, it's about 2 months left in this format, so Yeah, maybe Hornet Queen will make a rare appearance.
I really like Hornet Queen. I think that even once like everything rotates, like I think the card is just really good.
Yeah, BioBlight's definitely good against it. Definitely a knock against the card, but other than that, it is pretty sweet. With no mortars in the format, no Supreme Verdict, it could be pretty sweet.
Yeah, just getting out and play. Like if you look at in block, some of the cards that ended up dominating were things like Prognostic Sphinx and Brimaz, and Hornet Queen is just very good against those cards.
Yes, it's like, hey, that dies to one of my 4 insects. So
yeah. As for the Monsters deck, I still think Monsters is still good in the format.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people talk about how they think that the deck is bad or that it's not well positioned, and I feel like
Brad Nelson.
I mean, he can't say the deck's bad anymore. He top 8 an Invitational with it.
He still thinks the deck's bad, but
he's a jerk.
Yeah.
But like Monsters is the type of deck that can always change based off of how the format is.
Yeah.
And it's usually just a couple cards that are going to be changing. Like, unlike some of the other cards in in Magic in general, Polukranos, Dharmi Raid, Xenaghost, like these cards are always just going to be good cards. And it's just the supporting cast of the 4 or 5 removal spells, how many Rampagers, if any, how many Coursers, if any. Like those are really the flex slots in the deck. And I think that depending on what you expect the format to be, you can always tailor it to be successful in that format. It's just about getting the reps with the deck.
Yeah, it's also interesting to note that like one of the issues with Monsters a lot of times is like hyper aggressive decks can be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But you can just cut the Jund. Like you could just cut the black.
Yep.
And then you don't deal damage to yourself with lands. You can play 4 Coursers, 4 Ooze, 4 Mortars. You can play like Shock or Magma Spray or any number of other cards. Like you can build your deck to beat those decks if you really want to.
Yep.
So just something to keep in mind. Like
yeah, it's one of the reasons I've loved the deck and I've played it as much as I have. But the format now is much different than it has been in the past. Green, white, and mono red previously have been fringe decks, and now they are thrown to the forefront of the format. So for those of you who are battling this weekend in any of the IQs all over the country, since there is no open, it's Gen Con, make sure that you are ready for Soldier of the Pantheon or Goblin Rabblemaster, because people love to attack.
they do.
So as for your junk, I guess it's Junk Reanimator, even though the white is quite small.
Golgari-ish Reanimator.
Mostly Golgari, Junk Reanimator.
Yeah.
So you think it's something that's worth continuing to build on, maybe for DC, test it out before the Invitational, or are we just going to be Brimazing and pack ratting people?
I mean, I probably won't be Brimazing people at all, but I do like. I mean, my default deck is the black-white deck I played at the Pro Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Just a very strong deck. A couple of the other people who played it did very well. So that's my default, but I don't know. I do enjoy this kind of a deck, so I probably will put a little bit of time into it. But if it doesn't come together, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force it.
That makes sense. That's one of the things that a lot of people do in Magic is and I can sense this when people will ask me, or they'll ask us in the contest, like, what do you guys think are the tier 1 decks? What do you think are the tier 2 decks? Like when you are separating decks into tiers like that, especially in the standard format, you're pigeonholing them into whether they're good or bad, or if you should play them or if you shouldn't play them. And I honestly just feel like if you are familiar and comfortable with the deck, it doesn't matter what tier it is, you can play it and be successful in the standard format, because all the cards are extremely powerful. It's just whoever can play them correctly.
As long as it's actually a good deck.
Yeah, as long as it's like a deck. Any of the, I don't want to say top decks, but any of the decks that you've seen in the top 8s that have been performing, they're all the same decks that were there Pro Tour Theros a year ago.
Yeah, they are.
Black Devotion, Blue Devotion,
green white,
green white,
mono
blue. Some type of green mid-range deck, whether it's monsters or planeswalkers or green devotion. Like all of these decks have still been there since Pro Tour Theros.
Yeah.
So whether one's tier 1 or tier 2 shouldn't sway whether or not you play it. Whatever you have the most reps with and whatever you're the most comfortable with, you can actually win.
Yeah, I mean, there's people like Owen who would just always play a black deck. Like Ross Merriam, Sam Party, and those guys are just always going to play Blue Devotion.
Yep.
And it just keeps working for them because they are 100%. They're very familiar with the deck. They know exactly what to do, and the format isn't changing. So being comfortable with the deck is huge. And like I know personally, like I didn't play black decks for like 6 months after, after Louisville last year in the Invitational. I kind of stopped playing black decks and just haven't touched them in like 6 months. I know, so I was kind of rusty, like playing Pack Rat again. It just wasn't something I had been like playing with over and over and over again. And had I been doing that, I may have had a better result at the Pro Tour just by being, those decks have such small margins sometimes. It's the little things that matter. But.
Especially with the format changing significantly with the introduction of Born of the Gods. It's like you stopped playing, well, I stopped playing it as well too. Like we stopped playing black right before Born of the Gods came out, and then BioBlight has changed the Pack Rat dynamic. So it's just a little bit different now. You definitely want to make sure you get in the reps. That's the most important thing. You can read all the Owen Turnwald articles you want on Mono Black Devotion, but actually playing the deck is what's going to give you the reps.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things too. Like I personally think Devour Flesh is just atrociously bad, and I love BioBlight. But there are other people who love Devour Flesh and hate BioBlight. So I mean, a lot of that's going to come down to preference and so forth. Personally, I like to kill Night Veil Spectre and Master of Waves, but maybe that's just me.
But we got a little off track there talking about Black Devotion. Back to these decks, we have Judd Monsters, the mostly Golgari, Junk Reanimator, 2 awesome decks that if you're looking to battle this weekend in some IQs, make sure you sleep them up. I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by and hanging out with us for BBD versus CVM. Make sure you click below if you want to check out some of our other videos. For those of you who are not on StarCityGames.com watching us, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel.
Yep, see more of these sweet videos.
Absolutely. Make sure you also comment below. We do read the comments. Let us know, what you like, what you don't like,
what you want to see.
If you have any sweet deck ideas, what you want to see. We definitely do read them. Sometimes they're not very nice, but we still read them.
Yep. Sometimes we wish we hadn't, but yeah. We will read them, and we do take considerations into consideration. Did I say that right?
Carefully.
Probably. We do take the things you say into consideration. We don't always do them, but we do think about them, and sometimes we do. So,
absolutely,
hit us up with those, and we will read them.
Yep. So again, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you guys next Friday for more BBD versus CVM.